It's Caleb, and this is going to be day 14 of the project. So today's going to be a little bit deeper of a message, but hopefully you guys stay tuned. All right, guys. So today's message is about toying with sin / keeping it as a pet. So I'm going to just start this off with, the Lord knows you. He sees us human beings. When we speak about sin, He knows how destructive that it is, He knows how catastrophic it is. He sees the heart that we enjoy upon ourselves because of our sinful behavior. And the Lord looks upon us with the type of grief, and it is hard to see like His children who He loves indulge and see like how we're damaging ourselves and how we're damaging our lives and ruining our relationship with Him. When He's witnessing our credibility get ruined because we're diving right back into sin. We're diving right back into what He doesn't want for us. Like how many times has the Lord kind of responded to your tears because of His love? How many times have you broken down and tried to talk to Him and begged Him to help you out, and He's been there for you? But He's looking at you like, why can't we just stop from the source? You're asking me to help you out of this tough time because of the steps you took to get there. You know that if you would have been walking with me more, you wouldn't have gotten to this point. If you would have just listened to what I said, listened to the plan that I have for you, you wouldn't have gotten to this point. But, He gives us free will, and that's a whole nother episode on what free will is. But He knows that we have choices, and sometimes we go down the wrong one, Because the Lord knows just the deep damage and destruction that brings to our lives when He went through extreme measures to warn His followers not to play around with it, like not to treat it as a pet, don't keep it on a leash, just don't toy with it at all. He knows, and He tried to teach us this, and we still go back to it. He knows that it's going to happen, which is why He sacrificed His Son, because that was the only thing that could overcome the amount of sin that we're doing. I'm going to open up into Matthew 18:8, and this is kind of a big eye-opener, especially like for me. When I first read this, I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy. I started putting it together, and I was like, okay, this is one of them ones. Matthew 18:8, if your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life like maimed or crippled than to have 2 hands or 2 feet to be thrown into eternal fire. Pretty much, He's saying here, like, it doesn't really matter if it's the hand or the hand that's feeding you. You cut it off. We've all sinned. We've all had someone that we've sinned with, whether that's a friend and you guys, mess around or were mean to somebody else or you're doing unchristian things, or if that's, the person that we think that we're in love with for the right reasons, but really we're with them for the wrong reasons, whether that's somebody you've talked bad about even just alone, whether it's the person that you don't want to unadd, but you only talk to them at 11 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you have to cut it off. Doesn't matter if it's going to be mean. Doesn't matter if it's, you're kind of a douchebag because you cut them off. Doesn't matter, like, the hips and dips. You got to cut them off. Doesn't matter if it's your best friend. Sometimes you have to cut it off. We've all struggled with this, especially, like, lust, I feel like, is the most common in this generation. So don't just leave me up here alone when I'm talking about this. I feel like we've all struggled with this. We can act perfect, we can say the perfect stuff, and just know that, it's not easy. You're not going to change overnight. You're not just going to say a prayer saying, okay, just have all this sin go away from me, and you're going to be perfect the next day. You're still going to have to go through the battle every day. It's not going to be easy to cut off. It takes time. Admit it, repent it, and work on it. Matthew 18:9, and if your eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell. Don't live in sin. Try to take those little steps today. Try to put your mind in the right place. Try to put the right foot forward. And if that foot is what's causing you to sin, cut it off. That's the point of today. Cut it off. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to pray today.